Someone asked, what happens when I suppress crying? And it's a very important thing to recognize that what science has found is that when we feel a strong emotion and we repress it, it releases a quantifiable biochemistry into our bloodstream, which will go to certain cell receptors and block them, rendering those cells incapable of communicating with the rest of the cells in the body. And if over time illness happens, it happens where the cells are blocked. And conversely, what's also known to be true, that when you feel your emotions very naturally and openly and freely, like a child does, our cell receptors remain open. And so what's very important is that when it comes to feeling any emotion, not just the urge to cry, but to feeling any emotion that's arising, that we really welcome that emotion, that we surround it with love instead of resisting it, pushing it away, sweeping it under a carpet, or trying to distract ourselves with constant activity. We instead bring our own love to it and just allow it. And the truth of the matter, if you really embrace an emotion, there's no emotion that if you really allow it, that can last for more than a minute. It comes, is fully felt, and it falls away. But when we repress it, it has that effect of getting stored in our cells, and then they become old cell memories. And before that cell dies, it passes on the programming that is there, the consciousness that is there, the old repressed pain and the memory that came with it are all stored in that cell. And when the new cell is born, it's born as an exact replica of the previous cell generation. So the programming gets passed on from one cell generation to the next. And what I'm so grateful that happens with the Journey method is it gives us the ability to break that whole pattern. What the Journey method does is it takes you on a journey inside your body to get access to those exact cell memories that you've repressed. And you go through a deep, very gentle, but very powerful releasing of the stored pain, the consciousness, the old cell memory, coming to an understanding what's happened to you in your life, coming to forgiveness, so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. So if you have been wanting to find a way not to repress your emotions, the first thing to do is to welcome them. If you are aware that you have a lot of repressed emotions, please don't wait for this to show up as a wake-up call down the line. Get on thejourney.com, and there's the Journey book on there, or you can go on Amazon and get it. And in that book, not only do you learn all about the process, but there's the process work, the method itself. Also on thejourney.com, there are Journey practitioners you can go to do the Journey work that is profoundly liberating and healing. Or you can even go to a course so that you can roll up your sleeves and dive in. But the truth of the matter is, I ended up being diagnosed with a basketball-sized tumor. And part of the gift of that tumor was it gave me the means to, part of the gift of that tumor is I found a means for all of us to go on our own healing journeys, to get access to these old cell memories, to go through this radical process of clearing and letting go and forgiveness, so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. And within only 6.5 weeks' time, I healed from having that basketball-sized tumor. And so it's powerful work, it's liberating work, and it's profoundly healing. And people are using it in all walks of life for healing all kinds of physical and emotional issues. So if you're aware that you've been repressing your emotions, my suggestion is Get everything you can about the journey and begin your journey.